The time is just gone 9:33 a.m. as we continue with the broadcast. Now, today, October the 5th, is the World Teachers' Day. And this is a day where teachers right across the entire world are celebrated and also commemorating the anniversary of the adoption of the 1966 ILO UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers. And obviously, this sets benchmarks regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers and the standards for the initial preparation for further education, recruitment, employment, teaching, and learning conditions. Now, we are fortunate in many senses where we've had people that have made their mark. Teaching has been a calling, it has been a service, it's not only a profession. But it has become a service to humanity, and the hundreds and thousands of students that go through these teachers to be what they are today. Many obviously succeeding in life and making a huge impact in the entire world, in their communities, for their families, and for everyone else. And one of the such teachers that we are honoring this morning is Mohammed Ameen Tajbhai, Central Islamic School's Deputy Principal with 49 years experience in the industry. Now, 49 years is already a lifetime. And this is the reason why we are talking this morning to Mr. Mohammed Ameen Tajbhai. Mr. Tajbhai, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah.
Yes, 49 years is a long time, and I'm sure you can actually write volumes about your life as a teacher and also in management capacity in the last 49 years because you've seen a lot. You've taught right through an apartheid era, you've been teaching through democracy, and you've seen just so much, many challenges, many changes. I'm sure there have been many highs, there have been many lows throughout your entire career. But let's start from the beginning. And many teachers we talk to always tell you one thing, and this is the famous term that they use: why did you choose teaching? And they tell you it was a calling. Talk to me, take us through your interest and your love for teaching. And this is the reason why you've been around for 49 years in this profession.
Brother Inayat, and to all the teachers and all the parents and learners, remember teaching is a noble profession and a calling by our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to serve people by influencing their lives and their future. Teachers in my schooling career inspired me to be a teacher, especially in the high school where I completed the high school at Nirvana High School in Lenasia. They showed great passion, care, and empathy. And besides that, the love of children also influenced my decision, which evolved over the years to have a positive impact on their lives. And in this 49 years, I can assure you they had a positive impact on their lives from my teaching and my education.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. In fact, just so wonderful. And also in looking at a teacher, obviously you got to be smart. As you mentioned, you need to have the love of children as well. And I suppose looking at your methods, looking at your strategies that you found very, very effective over such a long career. And I'm sure they improve all the time, Mr. Tajbai.
Yes, definitely, it has improved a lot, completely. From the time we started. Amongst all the changes and often periods of turmoil, for me, the following remain constant: to adopt the attitude of a novice or apprentice, to have an open mind willing to learn and to embrace change, to be prepared for every lesson, to treat everyone, including my learners, with respect and a sense of humor. Three main teaching methods that are most effective, Brother Inayat, is direct method: tell learners what to do. Thereafter, you discuss, and discussion takes place when you ask questions and you listen to the learners. And lastly, to delegate, empower the learners. In the past, there was no such thing as empowering the learners. There was no such thing as discussion. It was all just chalk and talk all the time. And the learners were passive learners.
Yes, Mr. Tajbhai. In fact, I know you talk about passive learners, but I'm sure you discovered all sorts of learners throughout your entire teaching career, and I'm sure there are many that stand out. Now, I've got a surprise for you, Mr. Tajbhai. And
Yes.
I don't think you expect this. Fatima Hayat appears on screen. She is the HR manager at a mining company in Rustenburg, 21 years of industry experience, and one of your students. And I thought we will surprise you with her presence because Fatima obviously has come through your hands as far as teaching is concerned. A top 100 global inspirational women in mining UK for 2022-2023. She was a nominee for the PCG Fabulous Women Awards for Global Impact in 2023, a mentor to women in mining, and a very passionate person about driving diversity, equity, and inclusion in the industry. Now, this obviously they say the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, this is just one of the fruits of your hard, your untiring efforts, Mr. Mohammed Ameen Tajbhai. Fatima, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Tajbhai.
Wa alaikum salam. Instead of saying Mr. Tajbhai, say Uncle Amin.
I was just going to say, I fondly call him Uncle Ameen now.
Yes, Fatima, obviously this has come as a surprise. I'm sure Mr. Tajbhai didn't expect this, but just tell us why you're here, Fatima.
I think today being World Teachers Day, it's important for me to acknowledge the role Mr. Tajbhai played in shaping me as an individual. I do occupy a leadership role, and listening to what Mr. Tajbhai said as to the reason why he chose his career in teaching, I think it talks volumes as to the type of individual that Mr. Tajbhai was. As a teacher, a very well balanced, humble, firm and fair teacher. And those values resonate with me today as a leader in my organization. It's imperative to the success that I see in leadership. And I really just wanted to have this opportunity to say thank you for teaching us those values of humility and fairness, and just your love and your passion for the way you taught us geography. You even got us to volunteer in the library. Mr. Tajbhai was responsible for the school library and taught us the Dewey Decimal System. I haven't forgotten that till today, Mr. Tajbhai. So I really he commanded a certain respect just by the way he engaged us as learners. And I think I just wanted to use this opportunity to say I am where I am today because of the way you taught us to be human first, and then leaders in our own right. And you allowed us that platform. And I think that's so important.
Well, it certainly is. In fact, it's actually fantastic that Fatima, that you've come out, and I'm sure it's made this extra special for you on this Teachers' Day, Mr. Touch, by having a student obviously acknowledging your contribution, the value that you added to her life, and where she is and where she finds herself today in leadership roles that she is in her field and in her profession.
Brother Inayat, Fatima, firstly, I'm very pleased the way you acknowledged. That is what teaching is about, where learners acknowledge their educators for all the hard work, for the passion, for the humbleness, and whatever we taught the learners. That is very important. The learners need to acknowledge all their teachers, not only me, but all the teachers in the schools that they are in. And that really is a plus for all teachers when learners acknowledge their educators for the wonderful job that they've done for them.
Yes, Jazakallah. Fatima, anything else you wish to add?
I just like to wish Mr. Tajbhai well, Uncle Amin, as I call him, in continuing to touch his learners' lives and people's lives, because I think that's so important. um, as you as you leave your legacy, we never forget that, and we still continue to acknowledge your work you've done in our school. But thank you for having me on the show, and I really enjoyed surprising you today, Uncle Amin.
A very big surprise. Jazakallah,
Well,
Fatima.
I mean.
Well, Jazakallah Fatima, and as you mentioned, legacy. It's not about a legacy that's for you, I suppose. You're talking about future generations because what you've learned from Mr. Tajbai, it's just perpetual. It just continues on and on and on. So this is for generations to come. And Fatima, we are absolutely delighted that you took time out to join us on this tribute and on this acknowledgement and honoring Mr. Mohammed Ameen Tajbhai this morning. So we wish you all the best as well in your life and that of your family. Jazakallah for that. And Assalamu alaikum to you, Fatima.
Walaikum salam. Shukran. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, Mr. Tajbai, just to continue with you, and obviously, looking at a lot has changed in the world of teaching. You've been around pre democracy, post democracy. The learning environment has changed. We've seen a lot of changes within the education system. And looking at some of these issues, and how do you see them now? 49 years later, some of the challenges, and I'm sure there have been many memorable moments as well for you.
Many, many challenges. Right? Firstly, understanding different learning styles was one of the challenges. Staying up to date with learning techniques, a big challenge. Communicating with parents, creating engaging lesson plans, the learner attitude and behaviors, motivating learners. Other challenges, of course, was moving from Rustenburg to Lodium, from a country town to a city, from a state school to a private Islamic school. While the geography and culture may have changed, I believe that my duties and responsibilities of an educator essentially remain the same. My commitment and dedication will there be always. And one of the main challenges was the year when I started my teaching career at Zeres Primary School, a small country town in the Northwest Province, after I qualified. And when I took up my teaching post there, I had to teach grade 3, 4, and 5 in one class and using the core subjects. The core subjects were English, Afrikaans, mathematics, science, history, geography. So there was preparation for each grade, lesson plans for each grade, teaching each grade separately in the same class. And of course, when setting examination papers, it was setting papers for each subject in each grade. And that was a big challenge. But of course, my commitment, my passion helped me to continue with that hard work.
Well, Alhamdulillah, you've done exceptionally well now, just looking at the teaching profession as it is right now. And I know that there are many that are saying right now that, still teaching is an attractive profession. And we know that there are many young people that have embarked. My own daughter has actually now embarked on the teaching profession after having completed her psychology degree. And she decided teaching is going to be her calling. But there are many that have also left this country that are teaching in many parts right across the entire world. So South African teachers are in good stead. They are in demand as well. Just some advice to younger students that are now embarking on this career and to further their lives in the education sector.
As we mentioned, teaching is a noble profession. To all the new educators and those that are just teaching for a few years, most important, be well prepared for every lesson. To adopt an effective classroom management plan, characterized by fairness, you must be fair with all learners, consistency and respect for the learners. And most important too, to be open to advice from your seniors, especially when you start the new profession. There will be senior teachers who will advise you and to better your teaching career. And remember the 3 C's when you take up the profession, when you start your first year. You must have care, you must be committed, and there must be conscience. Care, the learner is in your care at school. Adopt him as your own child. Be committed to your noble profession. And then conscience, be responsible, spend extra time with underachievers, give them expanded opportunities. To all the educators, share the following with the learners. It is your attitude and not your aptitude that will determine your altitude. That is my advice to the new teachers. Brother
Well, very
Inayat.
profound, very, very profound indeed. And I must say, it's been an absolute honor honoring you on this Teachers' Day, Mr. Mohammed Ameen Tajbhai. And Allah accept your efforts, Allah reward your efforts, and inshallah, Allah grant you the health, the strength to continue more, to be of value, and to touch the lives of many as you have touched over 49 years. As I mentioned, there are thousands upon thousands, and it is perpetual. And it's just wonderful engaging with you and honoring you on this day of honoring teachers as well. So once again, Allah make it easy for you. Jazakallah for your time. We do appreciate it, and all the best to you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Uh, Brother Inayat, can I just end off with something,
Sure.
if you don't mind? It would be presumptuous for me to say I had a great impact, but I pray that I did it. If I helped learners to become more optimistic and positive in their outlook and to believe in themselves, then I will feel very happy and grateful. To Salam Media, to Brother Inayat, to Ponti and the rest of Salam Media, shukran for having me on this talk show on World Teachers Day. To the matrics of 2023, all the best in your forthcoming examination. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy and grant them success. Ameen, summa ameen. To all the teachers, happy Teachers Day to all the teachers out there. Thank you for being the foundation of many learners. Thank you for working so hard. Ameen, thumma ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That is Mr. Mohammed Ameen Tajbhai, a Central Islamic School Deputy Principal, honoring him 49 years of sterling work, of service to the industry, the education industry, alhamdulillah, and touch many people right throughout his entire career. And with that, we're going to go for a break, and we will be honoring another teacher, Norman Panchbaya, who is an educator at the El Dorado Park Primary School, the 702 Teachers of the Year.